You know, I don't see any videos on YouTube about feeling like a useless bag of shit for 2 full weeks. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. Yes, positive vibes we're coming with. This illness, whatever it was, whatever has grown inside my lungs, has really knocked me. It's knocked every single part of me. There are parts of my body that in the 35 years that I've been alive, I believe to be untouched. Those parts of my body are currently aching. I don't know what to do. I'm all over the place in terms of I get up and I go, oh, okay, I feel fine. And then the minute I start moving, I feel terrible. I've got this cough lingering that I haven't been able to get rid of. I've got this fatigue that's over me. I've got stabbing pains in all of my joints. My lower back hurts. My lower back. Come on, man. I'm not at that point yet where it's like I should be getting lower back pain. I felt absolutely useless for 2 weeks. Now, the first week I was in bed, delirious with fever, and you know, I kind of accepted that, yeah, I'm not going to be able to do anything. I'm not going to be able to do any work. I'm not going to be able to do any content because I physically can't get up. Now, the second week, this week, it's felt different because in my head, I think I'd set myself up to be like, yes, I'll be back to work. I'll be back to work from Monday. I'll be able to start doing stuff. I think I managed one video in the whole week. And the video did well, but it was me lying in bed, you know, talking about how ill I was. But then this second week, it's just, I don't know, it's just taken something extra and more emotional out of me than the first week, which was like a physical thing. And I'm so fed up. I'm so fed up of being ill and not being able to contribute. And I think the problem is when you feel like this, right? When you're feeling ill anyway, and you're kind of physically exhausted, when it gets into like the latter half of this second week, the mental exhaustion has started to bring up other thoughts and feelings that you then have to battle with. So, you know, things like, oh, I'm not making enough money. You know, I'm having to redo all my budgets. I'm not making enough money. Maybe I'm not good enough to do this. You know, I've been looking at things like, I've been doing so much editing over the past 6 months to 12 months that I feel like I've got pretty good at it. But, you know, when it comes to like, oh, I could apply for a job, or I could apply for this person, could help this person out, I just don't have that confidence there. And I think part of that comes from being made redundant previously, is that does knock your confidence and it does make you question. And I've kind of combined that with a complete career change. What I do now is nothing like what I did before. And there's like jobs out there at the moment that I know I could genuinely probably go and get and work full time again and earn probably close to 100 grand a year. I don't say that as a brag because I don't want that. But I've seen jobs popped up that are like competitors to my old company where I know I would be really valuable and I know I'd be really comfortable in that space. I could climb back into my comfort zone and I could make a lot of money, and Christmas wouldn't be a problem, and holidays wouldn't be a problem, and buying new equipment wouldn't be a problem, buying new games wouldn't be a problem. But I would lose all this time. And when I think about it, when I think about going back to that environment, you know, working for someone else in that environment, it just fills me with dread. And there's a possibility that, you know, I'm so tainted by my last company where the CEO of that company was, you know, a kind of very toxic, very unpredictable mood of a person who had lots of his own stuff going on and often took that out on his staff. You know, whether that was physically or verbally, emotionally, you know, there was a lot of that going on. And then there was a lot of stuff he was doing that was, you know, at best immoral, at worst illegal. And being in that environment for 5 years, 6 years, maybe even longer than that, 5-6 years, you know, really made me not want to go back to it. Really said to me that this is not for you. You don't want to be in this position. It made me reconsider why I was trying to get more money. Made me reconsider why I was doing what I was doing. And I wasn't the perfect employee by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, I know where I fell down, and I was kind of self-aware enough to know where I was bad. So there's always that temptation to go back and say, I'm going to go and get a full-time job again. I'm going to work for someone else, going to make money for someone else. It'll be comfortable for me. I'll make money. I'll be comfortable. And maybe I can come back to this later. But the other side of it is I've put so much into like creating what I've created. And I've put so much effort into building what I've built that if I give it up now, what was the point of all of that? What was the point of putting so much effort in? And I know deep down that whatever I do, in order to be fulfilled, it has to be like in a creative industry. It has to be a creative format, because I know whenever I step out of that and it becomes about money, or it becomes about facts and figures and spreadsheets and fucking people management and HR and, you know, moving this about to get that in and all of these kind of sketchy practices that went on in my last business, I know that it eventually wears me down. And there was a time, I think, when you first start a new job and you're kind of filled with pep and you're filled with all of that energy, that you can trick yourself into thinking, yeah, I do enjoy this. But really, you know, deep down, you have to like follow your passion. You have to follow your passion. And that's what I'm trying to do. Like I've said before, I don't really know where this is going to lead me. And there are things that I need to do more of. Like the difficult thing at the moment is I'm trying to think, all right, how do I monetize the thing that I've been doing? Because yes, I'm a content creator. Yes, I make YouTube videos. Yes, I make videos on other social media platforms. But and I live stream. And I'm so grateful for the people who subscribe to me, who pay to subscribe to me, who gift to me, who donate to me, all of those things. But right now, that is not scratching the surface in terms of like what I need to do in order to survive on a month-by-month basis. And that means that I need to think of creative ways to monetize the things that I'm already doing. So my wife is super supportive of this, because she's saying, like, don't go and get a full-time job again. Don't go and do whatever. Take your time and look at the skills that you've got and look at how you can offer them to people. But that's the thing, right? It's the confidence. I've only ever done it for myself. When you get paid to do it for other people, it does bring up a level of anxiety in you where you're like, fuck, how am I going to do this? Is my equipment good enough? Is my knowledge good enough? Is all the stuff that I've done so far good enough to be paid for this? You know, right now I don't have a portfolio as an editor other than the stuff that I've done for myself. I don't have a portfolio as a videographer other than the stuff I've done for myself. And there's some things that I'm super proud of. that I've done that I think I could showcase, but I think I need more. I think I need to be able to showcase more things in order to be able to get paid work. So I think that's part of what I want to do. There's things I want to do. I want to make a documentary of some kind. Next year, I guess, is going to be where it's I'm doing the whole thing myself, but preferably I'd like other people to be the subject of that documentary, because one of the challenges of creating content like this yourself is that I have to do everything myself. If I'm using it, I have to set up, I have to make sure the framing's okay, the focus is all right. God, I can't tell you the amount of times of, not so much on this camera, because this is much more of a vloggy camera, but my other camera, it's like I've recorded something and the focus is off and it's like, that's screwed. Whereas if I'm actually behind the camera and I can keep an eye on that stuff and go, is everything in focus, is everything in place, am I recording, is the sound good? There's so many of those things that when you're recording yourself, you just have to trust that, yeah, that's working and it's fine and whatever. So anyway, I'm such a confident person, generally speaking. Like in certainly, I think this is a thing, right? But I'm an extroverted introvert or an introverted extrovert. One of those things, right? In certain situations, I'm so introverted, but if you put me one-on-one with people, or it's like phoning someone to do something, I'm not very good at all. But I can go and speak in front of 200 people easily. It's not a concern to me at all. I go and stand up there and do that and talk about whatever. Very good at that. But I've got to rebuild this confidence in like a whole new career. And it is challenging at 35 to go, everything that you've been doing for the past kind of 15 years, and I started doing marketing in my early 20s, so 15 years of experience in marketing. Everything you've been doing, it's not that it's useless now, because there's so many aspects of what I've learned from that I can apply to anything, but it's not what your focus is going to be. And now you've got 6 months to a year worth of like self-learning in this new trade in editing and videography, and you can see your own progression, but you've got no real proof outside of what you've done for yourself that you're able to do this stuff. So there's a lot of faith involved in people kind of saying, yes, you can make this ad for me, yes, you can make this video for me, yes, you can edit this video for me. There's a leap of faith there for people. So anyway, what I'm saying is the past 2 weeks have been awful. Every single part of me has protested me doing any kind of work, getting out of bed and physically moving around. And I've really had to listen to my body and say, just take the time to relax and get better. And the mistake that I made is I thought I was going to be ready to get back to it before I was. And that made me even more depressed, that when I tried, I was like, I just cannot move, cannot do the things that I need to do. So everything's fallen by the wayside, and I've really had to take a step back and go, don't do anything, just relax, chill out, get better. And I really hope I am. I really hope I am. You're probably, in this video, you're probably not going to hear it, but there are certain times when it's just like my cough is consistent and won't stop, and I'm kind of heaving and hollering, and it's a horrible, 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 horrible illness that I've had for the past 2 weeks, and I know lots of people have been ill. So it's not a case of me go, woe is me, and everyone else is, mine's worse than everyone else. It might be, we don't know if it's worse than everyone else's. But anyway, my point is, I've felt useless for 2 weeks, and I'm really trying my best to get to a situation, ambulance coming past. Right, we're back. Really trying to get myself to a situation where I can work again, where I can make stuff again, and I just know I need to push harder. If I'm really honest with myself, like, have I done everything I can do in order to make money from the skills that I've gained so far? No. What's the reason for that? I haven't had the confidence in me to be able to go out to people and say, let me make a video for you, let me make this for you, you know, and pay me to do that. That's the difficult thing, and that's something I'm going to have to get over, because savings are evaporating into thin air very quickly, and I'm doing what I can to kind of stem the flow, but there's going to come a time very, very soon where I need to make some money. There's sirens everywhere. Are they after me? I hope not. Anyway. I'm going to let you guys go. If you haven't already, do hit that subscribe button. It's one of the best ways you can support me for free. If you want to support me in a monetary way, then you can go to ko-fi.com/charmthegamer. You can support me for as little as £1 on there, or you can subscribe monthly. There's a bunch of different tiers with a bunch of different benefits that you can get. And I would be very, very appreciative of that. It all helps towards making more content more consistently and being able to focus more time on what it is that I love doing, which is creating content for you guys, and you know, having that help you, impact you, you know, whatever, just have an impact on you and the world. So I appreciate you guys watching. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.